All right, ladies and gentlemen, join me and welcome our Lifeforce Africa Continental Coordinator, Mr. Adebanji. Sir, we welcome you in our midst, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah, hello.
Welcome, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, welcome to your midst.
All right,
is
sir.
Mr. Augustine around?
No, sir, it's not yet in the Zoom, sir.
Okay, all right. We'll wait for him.
All right, sir. All right. Let me welcome my secretary, Mr. Apostle. Mr. Apostle, are you there?
Yes. Yes,
hello, Mr. Apostle, mute yourself, please.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. I want to welcome each and every one of us to today's meeting, but most especially our gratitude, profound gratitude to our esteemed guests, the Continental Coordinator of Lifeforce, Mr. Adebanji. We sincerely appreciate your time, your commitment out of the busy schedule that you are having. Didn't you fit to be with us, Nasarawa, Lifeforce Assembly? We appreciate your presence here. And please, a quick one to everyone that is tuned. Please ensure that you get yourself connected, get your pen and paper, because information that are going to be disseminated in this meeting is from a reliable source. He is a man of caliber, and everything he's going to be saying, please, everyone should take it very serious. And then I know that we're going to be having a lot of questions and answers today. So please, you will bear with us, because so many of the participants here are having itching ears. They want to know what's the update, and then most especially from you. So we believe that your humility that thus far we have been seeing and be experiencing will do well by helping us and doing justice to some of the questions. And so please, if you want to ask any questions to others, to those that are joining and those that are still in tune, please let your question be straight, and then let it be from a concise point of view. Very important. And taking us further to this meeting, we will also, like our special guests have said, we will also be waiting and anticipating for the arrival of Mr. Augustine. So on that note, please, if you can hear me clearly, I can see so many people still trooping in, attending the meeting. Please, if you can hear me loud and clear for the purpose of the proper coverage of this meeting, please go to the chat button and click yes to show that you are listening and you are attending in this meeting. Please click on the type yes so that we know that you are listening. Go to the chat button and then indicate. Please, if you are coming in for the first time, you are welcome to this meeting, Lifeforce, Nasarawa State, Nasarawa Diamond Assembly. You are welcome. Our guest is already well seated and is ready to give us the information that we need to move us further as an assembly and as a corporate body. Okay, as the meeting is still going on, we have the privilege and opportunity to welcome Mr. Augustine. Mr. Augustine, I can see he is in the meeting, so you are very much welcome, sir. So in order not to waste much of our time, let me hand over the platform to Mr. Paulunius Ologo, our presiding officer, as he called Mr. Augustine to take us further to what we need to do as far as this meeting is concerned. All right, let's welcome Mr. Paulinus.
All right, all right. I welcome everybody today. And as we are uniting today, and as you know, we have been expecting a day like this, and thank God that today has come to pass. So without wasting much of the time, let me hand the whole program over to our dear Mr. Augustine, because I know he's around right now. So Mr. Augustine, please, can you unmute yourself, sir?
Thank you. Greetings, everyone. My name is
Sorry, sir. I think you are using voice.
Now.
Yes, thank you.
All right. So, as I was saying, I said greetings, everyone, and my name is Augustine. And today is a wonderful day, very wonderful day, because there is a whole lot we are going to discuss. And in order not to take so much of our time, we're just going to go into the meat of today's meeting. Now, before I would officially hand over to the national coordinator and the continental coordinator for Lifeforce, I would quickly want to call our attention to the most recent updates now in our Krenko Private Society. And the reason why I'm calling your attention to this is because there is now more work on me. And just to officially introduce myself, I am actually someone working with a very top official or a very top organization in Nigeria. And I'm sure you're familiar with the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. Now, that's my office. It's a very sensitive office. And I find myself in TBC trying to restore humanity back to how it should be. And of course, there's going to be interference with the already existing structure. But I also have to announce to you that I'm getting very close to my official responsibility with the existing structure. In a few weeks or few months after fundings begin, I may need to tender my resignation letter because I can't serve two masters. And the administration is already aware. And from conscience point of view, you can't eat your cake and have it. Of course, the fundings that will be given from the point of Lifeforce will be more than enough because it's not from a debt-based point of view. It's from an abundance-based point of view. Of course, we will know better with time. Now, I'll just quickly share my screen. Now, why I'm saying this is because I don't want too much of interference, because at this point, I wouldn't just be handling Nigeria. I'm going to be handling Nigeria and India. And come to think about it, less than 1% of humanity knows anything about Lifeforce. So it means that 99% of those who will be reaching out to Lifeforce will be Tibetan, and that's just it. Now, only a few people will know about Lifeforce and the way our structure is designed. Most of them will look at it as a scam. You know, they wouldn't see the reality in it until it starts happening. But you know, as at that point, it will be late for them to understand what's going on or anything. Of course, they can get fundings and they can live a happy life. But a structure is what we are forming. Once that structure is filled out, well, it's game over. So it pleased our creator to put me in a position where I can help in building. And I am sure that Paulinus and the other of his lieutenants are familiar with me, the likes of Adams and all that. You guys know me, and you know how well I have tried to coordinate, even though I haven't been perfect. So more work is coming on my desk, and as much as possible, I would need your support as we build. I would need your support. Not disturbing. If you get the difference between disturbing and support, they are two different things. So work with me. I want to work with you people, and I would give you guys my best
All
and
right,
I
sir.
hope you guys will also give me your best.
All right,
So
sir.
on that said, let me quickly share my screen.
Congratulations, sir.
And, I've not said anything. Why are you congratulating me? I've not said anything.
You have said it. You have said a lot.
Oh, my architect.
I
greet you, sir.
I hope they caught it.
I didn't know it was you.
Yes.
Well done, sir.
Yeah.
All right. So this is my screen. I don't know. I hope we are seeing it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. Now, this was because of the meeting I had yesterday. And immediately after that meeting, Paulinus was there. Admin had to call my attention. Now, admin understands something, that before now, my architect was designed or seen as, in quotes, an evil person. He was seen, in quotes, as someone against TBC. But as God may have it, I came into the picture and that difference was, sorted out. So in the course of our interaction yesterday, he found out that he can't do without Ademola because of the most recent information that was sent to us by Kelly. So at this point, we have to work with Ademola if Lifeforce Nigeria and Lifeforce India and Lifeforce Africa will succeed. So after we liaised, he concluded that yes, Augustine, you are going to stand in for Lifeforce in Africa, in Nigeria and in India. Now, I don't know if it is Africa. It's actually Africa. He actually placed me, elevated me to the place of Africa. But let it be very clear for the record's sake, I am at this point working under my architect in the place of architect Ademola Adebanji. I am supporting him. He can't do it alone, okay? I'm just one of his branches, but fortunately, I am in the TBC community and he has placed that mandate on me to oversee Nigeria. That's where my limit is. But the admin has elevated me to Africa. So I don't just have jurisdiction over Nigeria alone. I have jurisdiction over Africa. But it is only at the permission of my architect. If my architect says, manage Nigeria, I don't have a choice. I can only do what he says. If he says, okay, come along with me, as I move, you move, then we move together. That's the truth. I have actually made up my mind to make TBC happen. So as many people who will reach out to me from Africa, I know how I'm going to coordinate with his directive to make sure that it happens. So as these responsibilities are coming, don't think that you guys will just sit aloof or stand aloof. I am going to involve everybody. So get yourself prepared so that when I say Paulinus come in or Apostle come in, please don't say, I'm busy. It's going to break my heart.
No.
All right, I'll just read this. Then I hand over to my architect. There is so much content. He came here well prepared. So get yourself ready for all the things he has to say. So this is it. I won't even waste time. In the next 1 minute, I'm urgent. All African and Indian Assembly leaders need to go through orientation notice, which is exactly what we are doing now. And I know that some of you are already in the orientation class. Augustino Bidimma, which is my first name and my middle name, is authorized to gather and guide all of the assembly leaders in or from Africa and India into an official Lifeforce Assembly orientation happening this week. So it's going on. So he wants us to get everything done like ASAP, like if it were possible. There was a timeline given to me by my architect, which is 15th. So we should have gotten all the national and state assemblies ready this week. So it's up to us to make it happen. And I'm trusting God to give me the strength to carry on. Now, if you are one of these leaders, you need to contact Augustine immediately. These are my 3 contacts: Telegram, WhatsApp, and my Facebook. Now, the following leaders are expected to contact Augustine immediately. Now, these are the leaders. I'm sure you may know some of them. And I'm seeing Paulinus. Paulinus is here. Pritam Kumar from India is there. And Feng from Jos is there. Who else? There are a whole lot of people. I'm sure you're seeing them. Kufri is there. And who else? Paulinus is there. Stevenson is there. So I have everybody to work with. And I'm trusting God for the wisdom to get it organized. And I'm saying this because my architect is here and he is going to give me the guide. I may know some things, but I'm not as exposed as he is. And as long as I am working with him and following his directives, I believe that he will bring me up to speed. This is not the present system that we are moving out of. The present system wants such that your subordinates are answerable to you. And anytime your subordinates would want to know much, you try to subdue him so that he doesn't know much. This present system is the opposite. In fact, as you lift up your subordinates to know more, you also are elevated. It's actually a principle of life. And my architect is masterminding it for Africa, so he knows much better. So I'm rest assured that he will give me the best, and I will also give him the best by the special grace of God. So on this note, I will stop and then hand over the mic to him, and then let him begin the orientation, and then let's see how far we can go. Please, I don't know when next you have this opportunity to have him. You may not have him again, possibly this year. So please beware that there will be more work coming on his desk. Maximize this opportunity today. This is my advice. However, if you decided to meet him or have another meeting with him, well, it means you guys should be prepared to pay the price, and you understand what I mean. All right, so my architect, I think the floor is all yours. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Engineer Augustine.
You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon to everyone in the house. I am glad that I'm having this meeting with the very first state that is ready to move at the speed that I desire. The journey has been very long, but I'm happy that Mr. Augustine is here with us. He is the last of the regional coordinators to join us, and yet he appears to be the first to be organizing the states within his jurisdiction to make things move. I'm very happy about it, and I'm not surprised because we know we Tibetians, we move fast. Once we want to get things done, we get it done, and that's what I can see. And that skill is what the other coordinators must also learn. And also because Mr. Augustine has built himself over the years, the reputation over the years as a leader in TBC. So it's not so difficult for him to move a lot of people in this direction. I have known him for a very long time. So he has been a very good friend and a mentor. So now that things are also bringing us together, it is very important that we move on. So I will discuss with him about the recent developments about Africa and Asia, because he has made other things very easy for me. And so we will discuss it and see how we can move it forward. Then secondly, I also would like you all to appreciate the TBC admin. If not for TBC, I wouldn't be where I am today. TBC was the learning pedestal for me to get to Kim. What helped me most was because my mindset into TBC was humanitarian. And so it was easy for me to come across Kim and move ahead. I didn't come with the mindset of a businessman or an investor. No, I never saw TBC that way. So it was easy for me to get across to Kim and also see things. But I'm glad that the TBC admin was also humble enough at a point to realize that, yes, there's someone higher and who has more power that can help humanity. Since his vision is to help humanity, it is not so easy, difficult for him to let go and hand over the flock to TBC. And I want to count all of you here very lucky, because you have paid the price over the years. You've been consistent with the vision of TBC, and so you deserve to be among the first who will get to know about this. And let me tell you, the number of those who are aware of what we are doing around the world is not up to 1 million. I doubt if it's up to 1 million. So if you are part of it at this early stage, it's a lot of fortune to be in it at this early stage. And I'm not surprised that TBC community is the one coming in, because the vision of TBC aligns perfectly with the vision of Kim. So it's not difficult. So all of you, congratulations to all of you. And I have very, very exciting news for all of you.
Wow.
Now, before I go into that, there is work to be done. There are great responsibilities. And at the same time, there are greater rewards. You know what is natural is that when you sow one seed of grain, you should reap plenty. That is the kind of abundance we are moving into right now. Because Kim is a person who knows the natural laws, and she's ready to make sure that everything aligns with the natural law, so that where you sow one seed, you reap bounty. That is the kind of thing we are trying to develop now. Now, it is very, very important that all states also get themselves ready. Let me tell you, my jurisdiction is not the states. It is the jurisdiction of the regional coordinators. But because at this point, many of the regional coordinators are also still learning. And some states are already showing great interest of wanting to know and get going, like your assembly. That is why I want to step in. This, in spite of the fact that responsibilities is increasing. I'm having meetings virtually every day now. I still have to create time for you so that those who are ready must not be delayed. It is not fair. We can't delay those who are ready. We just have to give them support so that they can put themselves together and get ready for funding. Because from the way things are, all the parameters, all the templates that we need for funding has been given to us. Some official, some not yet official, that is just going in between us in the group. But now that you guys are set, it's important for us to talk about what you need to do to get yourself prepared. I want to tell you that I will be passing the criteria to Mr. Augustine. You need to have seasoned professionals among you. Seasoned professionals. We want to develop a country of over 500 million. We cannot afford to use sentiment or politics or anything. If you don't have the skill, you just don't have the skill. You cannot head the housing committee if you are not in the building industry. And if you are not a professional, an architect, an engineer, a town planner, a quantity surveyor, you can't be there. So we need seasoned professionals. We need doctors, we need healers, we need so many others, herbalists, who are certified to head the health and wellness. So, and that's how it will play out in all committees. So I will be passing to you the committee structure that you will use and the procedure for you to nominate your people, because everything has to be based on voluntary deeds. Now, once the assembly is set up, the next thing is preparation for funding. And that is coming in two categories. There will be funding for personal projects, and there will be funding for council projects or assembly projects. Now, there are two ways funding will come into the hands of assemblies and individuals. And when I talk about personal projects, I'm talking about small and medium scale companies and even large companies. But the large companies are going to come last. I will send the requirements to Engineer Augustine so that I can share it with you, because you guys are ready. For the personal project and the council project, the first funding that will come for personal project is called personal setup funds. And that one will come in form of COVID-19 relief funding for businesses, for small and medium scale businesses. It is designed to help businesses to recover from the disruption of COVID-19. And it is supposed to help everybody so that all the debts that you have acquired over the 2 years of COVID-19, you can recover, employ all those you have laid off and get your business together. So it is like a setup fund for personal projects. So the criteria is already out because that website is ready. We are only waiting for the finishing work with the banking system. And I'm still going to talk about that because there are also some very exciting news about that. So that one is to help the personal project and what's it called, companies. But before that must happen, the assemblies has to be ready. And when I'm saying has to be ready, it has to be ready from the national to the states. They just have to be on the ground to help people, because the money coming for COVID-19 relief will pass through the assembly. The assembly is the one who is going to help businesses and individuals to access the funds. So they have to be trained. They must know what they have to do. They must be able to access the portal. They must know how to manipulate the portal to help people to also navigate through it. So it is the assemblies that has to be ready first. And how that will happen is that the assemblies must get themselves ready. Now, for the assemblies are going to receive what they call preliminary administrative funds. That is the funding to help assemblies to get themselves settled. The point we are right now, I can be called upon at any time to submit how much we want to take. And I'm trying to look out at the figures that we will use as a template. And we have been looking at it and still re-examining it right now. And it's a huge sum. And we are looking at from the state or at the local government level, nobody should receive anything less than maybe 50 million. At the state, maybe 100 million, and above should be higher. So we are putting that together. So in as much as we have states that are ready, it makes the work easy for us, because the money we are receiving is for 1 year. And if you receive that money and within 6 months you are not using it, they will be asking you what is happening. Why are you not using this money to work? So yes. I was attending to my children.
All right, sir.
So we just have to be ready. We cannot keep having money and keeping it at home or in the bank. We have to let this money do the work they're supposed to do. And we have only 1 year. So as much as states that can put themselves together, get themselves properly trained, know the structure, and get these things done, the better for all of us. Because that means that we'll not be keeping money in the bank. Money will go into the economy and then money will flow. And so it is very, very important that you put yourself together. And I'm going to give Mr. Engineer Augustine the structure so that he can share it with you one by one, and then you get this done. I'm presently looking at the logo of your assembly. There are still 1 or 2 things that you need to adjust in it. I think I have given the template to the engineer so that I can share it with you, and then you can redesign your logo. Some of the items I can see there is very good, but there are some other things that you need to add to it that will make it even better, and it will flow with our own.
All right, sir.
So I'm very happy that you guys are putting yourself together and then get this done. So it is important that all of you are on the same page with us. You have to watch the restoration plan video and then go to the orientation class. The kind of feeling I am getting from the orientation class is very, very rewarding. People's eyes are opening. They are seeing new things that they've never heard before, and they can see great hope for the future. So I want you all to also go to that class and begin to see what they are seeing and begin to understand what is going on behind the scene, some of which the admin has always been putting on the blogs, and some of us have read. So it's very, very important that you begin to see some of these things and get across to us. Now, there are some other exciting news. From yesterday's global meeting of Lifeforce, we can see that Kim is now focusing on the ethereal aspect of the earth. She's trying to remove all the dark forces that is around the earth presently. And so she's no longer having time for the banking and all those stuff. So she has handed it over to Mr. Collins to carry out, and he's doing a lot of great work. He's an ICT person. He's very, very much aware about how to create banking systems and online stuff. So he's presently doing a lot of work, putting the portals together, and all the portals are ready. The portal for personal projects and the portal for COVID-19 relief, they are all ready. So once they have finished the work on the banking system, then we'll be ready for launch. And we want to start working on that right now. So they announced yesterday that they are going to open a Telegram group for a think tank on the new financial system for the world. So some of us have been indicated interest that will be there. Luckily for us, the head of Treasury is a regional manager with a bank. So he has a lot of experience in the banking system, so he can always be part of that group. And I also have, luckily, two of our regional coordinators who have experience in microfinance bank. They will also be part of it, because part of what we'll be talking about is how to move away from the debt-based system to an asset-based economy. So many of the concepts we know in the debt-based system, like debt management, derivatives, stock investment, mortgage system, investment, insurance, all those things have to be reformed. We have to move it from the debt-based to an asset-based. That means it will no longer be loans, it will now be grants. So how do we work it out that we give grants, that people don't see it just as free money, that they can still pay some of it back, and yet still live in abundance? So we are about to create that group, and once the group is created, we will be there so that we can represent Africa and Nigeria and get all the feedback. And so we will be able to input what the people really need on the ground, on how they want the banking system to work. And once that is done, within 2 weeks, once we are able to put a lot of ideas together, then Mr. Collins will be able to put it into the system to create a new banking system. So it's going to be an exciting group, because a lot of revelations will come about the direction of the banking system, and also when funds can actually come. Because what we are going to do in that committee is going to really, really determine the direction of the banks and how things will operate in the new. So it's really an exciting news to hear, and it's going to help all of us in Nigeria, so that if you have concerns, you can always send it to Mr. Engineer Augustine, who can always get it to me, so that your ideas can also be put forward, because we need everybody's contributions, because everybody has felt the pain of this old debt-based system, and we need it to collapse. So for it to collapse, we need something more to come in and get it done. Now, some of the requirements that we have stated to our steering committee is that when you also put yourself together and you have your committees, you must also have a steering committee. A steering committee will consist of the heads of the committees. We should have at least 9 committees. You can have more. I don't know the comparative advantage of Nasarawa in Nigeria. For example, if it is Lagos now, Lagos has a port, so they must also have an export and import committee. In Ogun State, they have a lot of industries. They need to have industrial committee. Oyo State is a farming state. They must have maybe 2 or 3 committees for agriculture, so that things can really work on the ground. So you must also have such things based on the advantage you find in your state, so that you can put yourself together properly and then create a steering committee. So apart from the head of committee, you must also have representative of the local government, at least 3 from each local government that is within your state, so that they can also have a feel of what is going on and also be able to tell their people about what is going on. So that is also something that Engineer Augustine will teach you how to do. That one's no problem. So for now, what we need to get set is that once you are able to put yourself together and the committees are ready, I will share the budget template with you so that you can start putting yourself together, put your budgets together, and then that you need to do. So we need to tell you some of the requirements that we have, because there are certain things that we are not compromising. We are not renting apartments. It's either you build or you buy. Rent is a slave system. Unless you want to rent maybe for 6 months, by the time maybe you are negotiating with, you are still looking for buildings and properties that you can buy, you can just rent for a short while, and then before you move to it. And then you also need to work on security. We want to work on that on the national level. And so once we have a good number of states who are also ready, then we have to put them along in our arrangements. We want to arrange it from the top so that we can have security for everybody. Because you can't have that in this Nigeria where there are kidnappings going on. You can't have that kind of huge amount of money in your hands, and then people will be running after you. So we have to arrange for security. And then also you should try as much as possible to live together. Make sure that once you have the funds, you put your money together, you go and buy an estate. If there are 12 of you, you just go and buy an estate and then live there, and then buy another building where you will use for offices. So that by the time you are doing that for 1 year, you're already looking for land, a big land where all of you can also build your estate and then build your office, so that you're all together and then you are all secured together. So that when you move, then you can have individual security, but together you have proper security in it. So that is also something that is very, very important. Now we want to start trainings on how to run your office without you being there, based on natural law. It is something that I've not been done before, but with my background, I have experience in all of them, in spirituality, in natural law, in running a business, and network marketing, learning how to duplicate, learning how to manage people skills and things like that. So I have those experiences here and there. So I'm trying to put them all together to start a training that hopefully we'll do on Zoom and then share with everybody, so that everybody can begin to learn how to do all these things. These ideas are new to all of us. We are practicing it for the first time. So we all need everybody to contribute from their own experiences, and then we'll have something that is robust for everybody to use. So once we are done with that, we'll pass it through the coordinators to the states that are ready, so that they can also duplicate and then teach their officers what to do, so that from there it can go down to the local government and the community level. So you need to know that your job is temporary. Once you are an officer, you are an officer in that office. There's no need for any election or any term or all that. No, because we already have a term. Our responsibility for your region is that all the communities in your state must become ratified. They must become autonomous. Once they are autonomous, that is the end of your term. So if it takes you 30 years, takes you 50 years, it doesn't matter. Just get the job done as quickly as possible. Because if they are free, then you are also free. So the earlier we get people to know about what is happening, the better for the country. Because once people are aware that the existing structure is powerless, then people will just move away and then move along with us. So we want by at the end of next year, we should have at least 10 million Nigerians who are with us. And then we double it or triple it by the following year. So that in 5 years, we already have more than half of the population of Nigeria with us. And by the time we have half of the population with us, then the game is over for the old structure. And what we are going to do is going to be exceptional. We are going to display abundance to everybody. We are going to make sure that everybody that comes across us also radiates abundance. For example, when you want to build a house, you want to get people to help you with house, you don't need to go and be looking for houses yourself. Get an agent, let the agent also eat. Get the agent, let them go and do the job. You want to repair your car, you want to buy a car, go and look for an agent to buy it. Don't go and be looking for it so that it can be cheap. No, I don't want all those scarcity mentality. Let money move into the economy. If you want to build a house and you are using what's it called? Washing machine, stop using washing machine. Go and employ somebody. Let the person eat. That is the kind of thing we want to do. We want money to move into the economy as fast as possible. So don't let things be rigid. Please be flexible. And in your project management committee, please let them be flexible. We are putting in place structures that will make it impossible for people to run away with money. But we have to give 5% chance so that those who want to run away, let them go. They can run away with only the first fees. They won't come back. But the thing is that, see, people who have that old scarcity mentality are those who want to hoard the money. The way it's going to be now, we are going to have only one task. It's some of the things we are going to discuss in the new committee. Spending tax. You want to buy a shirt, you will spend less on tax. You want to buy an aeroplane, you will pay more on tax. It's as simple as that. Nobody is stopping you from buying jets, but you pay more on tax. The time of keeping money in the bank is over. If you keep money in the bank for a very long time, it will be taken away because you are not using it. They want money to flow into the economy so that the economy can move up again. So we don't want people who will be holding money and keeping it in the bank. That is old mindset. Now we are moving into a situation where things must flow. The economy must move. Everybody, money must go around to everybody. Nobody should go and hoard money. They give you a salary of 2 million. You are keeping it in the bank. Keeping it in the bank. You want to go and do some old school investment. That is over. All those stock market, all those cryptocurrencies, they are all going to gradually crash because what we are going to be showing to people, the kind of abundance that they have been looking for, is what we are going to be displaying. And they will definitely come to all of us. So please don't be tight-fisted. Just be open-handed. Let this thing flow to people. People need it. Let it flow. The more that flows through you, the more will come to you. That is how things work in nature. So you have to be open and let these things flow and let it flow. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are in for an exciting ride. The responsibility is increasing, yes, but at the same time, the rewards will also come. So the more you know, the more you can earn. Everything we're talking about now is just information. I'm fortunate to have been with Kim for a very long time, even more than many people who are in the position right now. Even before Lisa T, I've been there. So this information that I've known is what I'm sharing with people. And before I came out, I had to be sure that what I'm saying is correct. So I've done personal research about everything Kim has been saying. I've watched over 1,000 videos on Kim, directly or indirectly. And this was interviews done by talented, skillful journalists. Not that kind of journalist that is in the mainstream media who are just puppets working for CIA. No, we are talking about independent journalists who knows what they are doing, who do investigative journalism. They interviewed her so that they can find holes in what she's saying. And all the interviews I've watched, she has been consistent with her story. And you can only be consistent that much if you are telling the truth. You will definitely make a mistake at a point. There's no way. And many of the journalists have visited her in where she lives, and they've seen and confirmed some of the things she's saying. So it's not just talk, it is real. Because many things have been said about her. She has been called an AI that is just on the computer, you can only see her, but we have seen journalists who have hugged her, who have touched her to confirm that she is an human being. You know, and she lives in a place where people have access. So she's not an AI, she's not a robot or something, she's a human being. So, and everything that she has said is true, everything, pata pata. So please, I will urge all of you to go into the orientation class, and I'm very sure you'll be excited by the time you are finishing it. You will know that we are really in the new. This is something that is gradually building up, and we are all lucky because we are taking positions now before 10 or 20 million Nigerians get to know about it. So I want to give you an assignment. You have the responsibility, if you have watched the registration plan, to share it with all inactive divisions. You have that responsibility. They are all part of us, and they have to wake up again. Many of them are frustrated because they see TBC as an investment. I don't blame them. TBC is not an investment. I have seen that from the very beginning, and I know that what TBC is doing will definitely take time, but it will take us there. Now it has taken us there. So I want you all to share with as many people as you can, so that we can get them all to speak, because we need everybody now. As I said, 10 million Nigerians is not enough to bring abundance to Nigeria, to change so many things. So we need everybody to be part of this thing. Thank you very much.
Wow, 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 wow. My architect, you have left my jaw hanging. Like, wow. I'm really amazed. Thank you very much for your time. You have taken time to enlighten us this very afternoon. And, you know, there is this saying, to whom more is given, much is expected. I didn't anticipate that it was going to be like this, but those of us who have watched Titanic, you know, that's Titanic. Although it's a lie, that film, the Titanic movie, it's a lie. It's not true. That was not the actual concept of how the Titanic crashed. But I liked the movie concept. It was a very good deception, I must tell you, you know. But if you look at that iceberg was small compared to what was below it. You know, it was so small. So the responsibility that we are about to move into, I'm not just talking of myself, neither am I just talking about my architect. I'm talking about all of us holistically. It will be such that you wake up in the morning and you'll be busy till 12 the following day, if you don't plan yourself very well. Now, for myself, this responsibility given to me, I think I'm a very good time manager. 3 things I know how to manage very well. Number 1, I can manage my time. Number 2, I can manage money very well. Number 3, I can manage people very well. Those of you who have been seeing my updates in our group, at least you see my organization of people. Now, you've not seen my area of organization of money. I am gifted in that, and I can manage time. So even if 1 million people meet me in a day, I have the time, I'll give them. Sorry, I'm busy at the moment. Reach out to me by XXX. Now, if XXX comes and then 5 minutes after you meet me, I tell you, what time did I say you should meet me? You lie to me, I'll say, take note of the record. We made a chart to that effect. Look at it. I said 4 o'clock, you came 5 minutes past. Now come back after 1 hour. And the person will get offended and say, I'm proud. I'm not proud. I am a busy man. And then if he says he must have it at that time, you pay me for my time. I mean, you pay me for lag in time. It could be $20, it could be $50, it could be $100 because you wasted time. I gave you a time, you didn't meet up. So we're moving into an official timing where you have to be very professional about what you're doing. And my architects managed time very well. I think it's about 35 minutes or so. He managed it and spoke well. And he has left our jaws hanging. And I know that so many of us may be having some questions going up in your head. Please, I know that you guys are intelligent sets of people. Do not just ask questions that flies into your mind. Regurgitate those questions well and be sure that there are questions that will add value to everybody. because you guys are not just going to be influencers, you are also going to be billionaires as the Kringle Society moves into 1 billion active membership. And I also know that at some point we'll have our food subsidy centers. It will become an irony that my architect will be out there doing all those things and he sees such opportunities and he turns a blind eye. At that point, he will definitely come back. Of course, money wouldn't be the matter. He can just decide to, set up his account again and then pay for 2 years so that he can enjoy that food subsidy. And it's going to happen like that. So a whole lot is going to unfold. And I want us to gear up for what's coming. So thank you very much again, my architects. You have done very well. So on these notes, I will give an opportunity for every other person who wants to ask questions to raise up their hands so that they can ask their questions and then my architect to address it. Now, if you want to ask questions that pertains to TBC, I think I'll be responsible for managing that one. But then if you don't have any other questions to ask, I think we'll call this meeting to a close. We agreed that it's going to be 1 hour, $1 hour, $50, and then 2 hours, $100. But as responsibilities keep building, at some point, my architect may have 1,000 people to attend to in a day. Do not think I'm exaggerating or I'm calling your bluff. I mean what I'm saying. At some point, he will have 1,000 people to manage in a day. He has to know how to use time to get them together and coordinate. Of course, he's gifted with that skill. But at that point, don't expect him to come and then attend to you for 30 minutes or for 1 hour, $50. No, he's a busy man. And at that time, if you need his attention based on what is available, then you need to pay the price. And it wouldn't be difficult because money will be in circulation. So it will be like buying maybe Coca-Cola. Your guest comes to your house, bring him rice and chicken. Go and buy Coca-Cola, which is very affordable. So it's going to be like that. People will learn the concept of gratitude. That's exactly how this system will be. So on that note, I want to give the floor. I want to return the mic back to Brother Paulinus and let him coordinate the section for question and answer. And if there are questions, ask. Make sure you ask your questions because after 1 week, don't come back and say, Sir Augustine, I want the national coordinator or the continental coordinator to come on board. There was one question that we forgot to ask. Well, at that point, it may be $200, which is $100 for an hour. And I mean what I am saying. Now, you guys are lucky because before this thing goes around the 36 states, by the time it has got to the 5th or 6th person, it will become $100 for an hour. And that's it. Now, when it's at that point, of course, the health assurance card will be there, life essentials will be there, testing of the banks will be there, COVID-19 relief fundings will be there. So everybody wants to know. At some point, it becomes $200 for 1 hour. And I mean what I'm saying. So it gets a bit more difficult to have access to my architect. Now you guys can joke and laugh and crack jokes. He's not actually having the time and he is looking for the best alternative to replace his time. And I think, in my opinion, it is financial resources for his time. Now, if his time is commensurate to what you are giving, you will know, because I can tell you the truth, that every effort you've made today is clear that you have gotten something of value and you are the first in the whole Nigeria to know what you know today. Even the administration does not know what you know today. I mean what I'm saying. You may not understand because most of us think that the admin is inside the campus. The admin is outside and is coordinating all of us so that at some point he will come out and then tell everybody or tell the administration of Lifeforce that he is the person that has been managing this number of people and all those things. So they will accord him that respect and possibly give him the sole right to, churn out as many assemblies as possible so that Lifeforce can actually make sense to humanity while TBC too is making sense. I'm just speaking out, but the bottom line is you guys are lucky. So do not miss this opportunity. If you have questions, ask your questions and you would get the answers. I am for TBC. My architect is for Lifeforce. Let's ask our questions. So I'll stop here. Over to you, brother Paulinus. Cheers.
All right, sir. All right, sir. Thank you, Mr. Augustine, and thank you, Mr. Adebanji, our great African Lifeforce coordinator. And I pray may God lift you more high in Jesus' name. So please, house, it is a time for you to ask any kind of question you want to ask about Lifeforce, about the private criminal society, so that your question will be answered immediately. So it's no longer I'm the only one that, or Mr. Apostle will be asking, you'll be asking us questions about this, about that. So our great leader is here right now with us. So you have the opportunity, you have the golden spoon, the golden opportunity to ask your question, because this question is directly from, this question will be answered directly from Lifeforce. So please, I need all of you there, and I need your hands up. Nilsok, Ogo, Luca, all of you guys, I need you people to raise up your hand to ask your question. If you don't ask the question here, not everything I know, I'm still learning too. So it is here your question will be answered. Do you understand? So I think there is few hands on the up. Then let me call on Mr. Ninsok Moses. Can you unmute yourself, please? Ninsok, please unmute yourself. All right, let me go to Ahmed. Let me go to Ahmed. Ahmed, please, can you unmute yourself?
Hello.
Go ahead, go ahead.
I am Mr. Jonah. I want to ask a question.
All right, Jonah. Go ahead.
Jonah Odulamusa.
All right, go ahead.
My question is that since we register, there is no any identity that somebody will identify you as a member of TBC. So how can somebody identify that you are a member of TBC? When there is no ID card, there is nothing to show that you are a member.
Hello, Mr.
You
Augustine.
get me?
Yes, Mr. Augustine, please. He's asking a question, sir.
Come again, let me get him, please.
Sir, I said, since I registered, there's nothing like ID card to identify or any exit to identify that you are a member of TBC. There's nothing like that. How can somebody identify that I, as a member, register?
Okay, all right, good question. Well done. Now, I'm going to answer your question because we are using the model that the elites use to take over the world. We are using that same model. Now, the people that are at the position of influence and power, they crept into the powers, into the places of powers. For instance, if you look into the United States, and you look into China, and you look into India, and you look into Japan, the majority of the people at the top hierarchies belong to secret society. Am I wrong or right?
Right.
Very good. Now, they understood that power is what matters, and they crept into that place, the likes of Freemason. At this point, as I speak with you, George Bush was one of them, and almost 60 to 70% of those that ruled the United States of America belonged to the Illuminatis. Now, that's a secret society. They came in from that structure. They did not tell you, I'm an Illuminati, and I want you to vote me. No, they didn't put it on their forehead. They worked with a principle called esoteric language. When you see them, there are some signs they do on TV. If you are not a member, you won't know. But if you're informed, you will know that, oh, this is a Freemason. Oh, this is an Illuminati. Oh, this is a Jesuit. That's the concept we are using. As a matter of fact, the concept of identity card, certificates, are the elite's orientation. Are you a doctor? Yes. Let me see your certificate. Are you a lawyer? Yes. Let me see your certificate. Are you an engineer? Yes. Let me see your certificate. It is called an elite's point of view. We are moving into a world system where what matters, what you can give to humanity is not dependent on that certificate. It is what you can offer, what you have upstairs, what you can churn out. And that's the reason why in our Kringle society, we are filling out places that matter as sincere children.
Sorry, sir. Please.
All right. So as I was saying, I said we are filling out the places of influence as members in the Kringle society silently. Now, we are not a secret society, we are a private society. But you will find out that the best minds are in TBC. You see, based on the way I've been coordinating, I've built enemies. And I can tell you that God is almighty. You see the list of people that has been told to come to me. I can tell you that 60% of them are they will be frustrated. Let me make something very clear so that you will understand what I mean. Are you seeing my screen? Are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
Fine. Now, some of these people, they have done everything possible to make life difficult for me. But I don't really care, because if God has planned something for you, nothing can stop it. Now look at the charts that I had with the administration of the Kringle Society. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now this is it. I'll just show you that part. Are you seeing C blog?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So he said C blog. I said, I will, sir. Greetings. He gave me thumbs up. I said, wow, well presented. I am up to the task. And so help me God. He said, report back to me which ones connected with you. He said that for a purpose. He wants to know the enemies of Augustine, because the admin wants to build TBC with me. He knows those who have been loyal. He knows those who have followed diligently. And he also knows the saboteurs. So he's filtering those people out. That's why he said, let me know those who connect back to me and give me. So I have to give him feedback by the end of today. So Paulinus, I'm going to include him there, and then some other people who have also reached out. I now said, I will, sir.
Thank you, sir.
In fact, I will keep you updated, or I'll keep you up to date every day. He now joked with me. I said, you have no problem. I will build TBC with those who are willing to bring heaven down to earth, which is the same thing Lifeforce is doing. Lifeforce is providing us the funding, and is also building with the right minds, not those who are statists and who do not have common sense to reason. So I said, let me return to gathering people, sir. I said, you're the best. Now, why I love this man is that after I said you're the best, he didn't take the glory. He quickly shifted the glory to God. To glory, he said, to God be the glory. Do take care of yourself. He gave me that's what they call this, whatever they call it. But I'm actually making you understand. I'm giving you privy informations, and those privy informations is this. We need to return the world back to how our Creator wants it. And we need to bring the good people and put them in the positions of power and influence. And when the good and the righteous rule, the people rejoice. So don't expect to see anybody with an ID. If you're doing that, you are trying to fight the devil in his own game. You should not do that. We should be private. We should be classified. And all of us knows each other. That's it. And then when you know that, okay, this is a typician, you will know that it's a typician. How will you know that it's a typician? It's a very simple thing. As you have meetings, you see the person. As we create groups, we know who we are. As simple as that. You're not supposed to carry any badge. I'm a typician. That's the elite point of view. Make sure you are classified. Nobody knows anything. But make sure your heart is pure. Because it's very clear that my heart is pure for this assignment. That's the reason why God chose me out of the multitude. If I had evil intents and intents that were contrary to God's plan, I can tell you at this stage where the whole thing is changing for good, I would have been exposed. So I don't know who it is that asked that question, but don't expect to have anything that is physical. We are moving into a world of pure cashless economy. We are moving into a world of pure digital, and everything is going to be, what do you have to offer? Not what certificates do you have. People has done very shady things to get certificates, giving out their bodies, and then done things that are unheard of to get that certificate. And at the end, their content in their brain can't carry that certificate. That's why some doctors will do so many things and then forget seeds of people's stomach. Build your frequency to be a higher level. In TBC and in Lifeforce, this is how our system is. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, yes.
Can I add to,
Hello,
can I add to that?
Okay. My architect wants to speak, please. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, I am happy about the way you answered that question, but I want to add one or two things. That the kind of world we are trying to build now. Now imagine UN having a meeting and two countries want to sign trade agreements. And that trade agreement does not involve writing and signing, but just simple handshake. Simple handshake. We are working together and we shake our hands, and that is the binding thing. We are moving into a world where your words is what binds you, not writing down and signing all those things. In a world where righteous people rule, you don't need to sign so many documents. You don't need identification. You don't need all that. No. Imagine a world where there is no border, where you can move from Nigeria to America at will without going through any visa or correcting anything. That is the kind of world we are building. And that's the world that you will see in the next 10 years, where we will have flying cars. Very soon, we are going to do away with all this type of vehicles. Flying car technology has been with us for a long time, but they refuse to release it. So in the next 5 years, that's what you will be using. And you can move to America, move to Cameroon at will with nobody disturbing you. That is the kind of world we want to build, not all this world of ID card and identification. It's all part of the old and they are all crashing. Thank you.
Yeah, I've done well, sir. I really appreciate it. All right. On that note, the floor is open for more. So over to you, Brother Paulinus.
All right. We have Brother Nilsok Moses. So please, can you unmute yourself, sir?
All right. Okay. Paulinus, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I want to use this medium to appreciate the architect, Mr. Adebanji, Mr. Augustine, and Paulinus with the secretary for the great work they've been doing. I am very, very happy to be part of this new world that is about to be formed. I call it a new world. My questions is, I have two questions. The first one is all on Lifeforce. When was Lifeforce established? I want to know when Lifeforce was established. The second question is, when do we expect these funds? Just like the architects has mentioned.
Okay, all right.
The COVID-19 fund, the rest.
Okay.
These are the two questions I have.
Right.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Yeah. Now, your first question, when was Lifeforce established? In 2020. It was established in the year 2020, but I don't know exactly the month, but I know that before it was established, we had meetings when we were contemplating on the name that we use. There was some initial name that Kim brought up that many people rejected. They didn't like it until the time someone now suggested Lifeforce and it was agreed. But I don't know the exact month in 2020 when it was established, but I was at the meetings when it was established. Now, the second question, when is the funds actually coming? I have given you pointers. It can come any day. The first thing that all those things that needs to happen before it comes is already happening. Number one, the template for projects is out. The template, the criteria for those who can receive funds is out. The portal is ready. Now we want to have a think tank to discuss how we are going to restructure the banks and what they are supposed to be doing for us. That is the point we are now. So if we can get that done in 2 weeks, and then we have all the recommendations that Mr. Collins can use to restructure the system, because he's now in charge of the KIM system, the key integrated monetary system. He's in charge of it now. So once he has all the inputs from all over the world, including you, you can always suggest it through the rank so that we can have it and pass it to them. So once we have all these, so those of you who have experiences in banking, in insurance, in investment, we need good ideas. We need to put it together and send it to them so that they know what they need to apply for Nigeria. So once we have all those done within 2 weeks, and he has all the documents, then by the end of the month, we should get going. So everything depends on all of us. If we can get all these things done and then they can restructure everything properly the way we want it, then the sky is the limit. That's the only thing that is disturbing it now. That's the only thing. Just our recommendations. Thank you.
Please unmute yourself, Mr. Livestock.
Okay, yeah, I'm satisfied.
All right.
With the question, yeah, I'm satisfied.
All right, thank you. So we have Peter Oga. Peter Oga, please, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Please, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Some of my questions has been answered, and this last one now, I'm still, having doubts regarding it. Is basically on Lifeforce. If Lifeforce is for everyone, how do you take those poor masses? I mean, those ones who are not educated along?
Okay, all right. I got your question. Now, the responsibility, it is good that you are bringing up that question because it shows that you are concerned. It is the responsibility of those of us who call ourselves educated to carry along those who are not. And this is part of something that we are going to also do when the funds are out. We are going to tell everybody that everybody must contribute a certain percentage of the money you are receiving, because it is only those who have access to the portal who can submit their companies can receive money. So what about the rest who cannot submit their companies to receive money? It is the responsibility of all of us who receives money to keep a part of it and put it together to support people through homes, motherless babies' homes, through hospitals, through things like that. So it is something that we just have to do so that this money can also reach them. We must all not just receive money and sit on it. That is wrong. So it's something we are going to do, that we are going to recommend at the time when the funds is out. So it is the responsibility of all of us who call ourselves educated to help those.
Yeah, God bless you, sir. I understand perfectly.
Hello, sir. Can you unmute yourself, sir? Hello, Mr. Augustine.
No.
Hello, Mr. Augustine. Well, it's like
yes, I'm with you.
It's like Mr. Adebanji network is bad because we are not hearing anything again.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
All right, sir.
It's not bad. I'm here.
All right, sir. I think is there any other person that want to ask a question? Please, if you have a question, Madam Flora, don't you have a question? Mr. Ajayi.
I'm seeing Ahmed. Is Ahmed not there? There's Ahmed.
I think
his hands are raised.
It was the Ahmed that just asked the first question. Okay, I have Lawrence. Lawrence, can you unmute yourself? Go ahead.
Yes. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My question is about Lifeforce. I want to ask, is Lifeforce for poor people or for all, like all the developed countries, like everyone, or is it only for poor people and poor countries? Secondly, again, I want to ask, the vision of Lifeforce and TBC, are they the same thing or not? Thank you. That's my question.
Now, and thank you very much. Lifeforce is for the 99% of the world population. That is how Kim used to define it. The 1% elite are not part of Lifeforce. They are not expected to be part of Lifeforce. And if they join, they must be rooted out of Lifeforce because they are the ones who have destroyed this world. We don't want money to go into their hands again. The only thing they know to do is use money to start war and kill people. And we don't want people to die. They have been lying to us for thousands of years. Many technologies have been prevented from helping people. Many things, masterpieces, innovations that should move the world forward has been prevented from getting people. Everything they send to humanity has been weaponized before they let it go because they want to use it as a system of control. So those people, we don't want them in our midst. They have eaten all the money, let them go and be enjoying that and just leave the world to us to rule and get the 99% out of poverty. So those are the people Lifeforce is targeting, the 99% that are the poor. The 1% who have destroyed the world, we don't want them. In fact, Kim have blocked all their accounts, so they can't receive funds directly again. So that's number one. Then number two, about the vision of Lifeforce and TBC. Of course, that is why TBC is promoting Lifeforce. It is because the vision aligns. It's as simple as that. If the vision does not align, we won't be here. And look, when you look at it, you know, a lot of people in the cryptocurrency world, they used to call TBC scam. But look at what is happening now. The rejected stone is now becoming the cornerstone. The cryptocurrency that's rejected is now the one that is taking over the world now. So you can see that, yes, people are calling you secret society, calling it secret society, calling us scam, but now it is obvious who really is a scam. Thank you very much.
I love that. My architect has done a good job. He took time to expatiate on that. And I just came to acknowledge it. He said the whole truth. Thank you. TBC is a movement. Lifeforce is a movement. But they say, show me your friend and I'll tell you who you are. TBC has the numbers. Lifeforce has the finance. And they can't do it alone. But TBC wants to help them. And when two come together, they become one. And that's what we want to achieve so that humanity can be free. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Augustine. Thank you, our great African and India coordinator, Mr. Adebanji. And I know that, and I pray that God will continue promoting you. As you are doing all this, God will continue protecting you wherever you are going. In Jesus' name. So, House.
Please, hold on, please. I'm seeing someone, Madam Flora. She was raising her hand. I don't know if she's
all right.
Say something. Please unmute her.
Go ahead, madam.
Good evening, everyone.
Your network is bad, please. Hello, Madam Flora, your network is bad. Please, let's try again. Unmute yourself.
Please, I'm so happy because when the was going on, Adebanji was lecturing us. My mind was also going to many places.
Maybe you should off your video. We can't hear you.
Madam, the network is bad on your location. I think maybe you can pass the question to me, then I will take the question to Mr. Augustine. And I think I have Mr. Ajayi. Mr. Ajayi, please, can you unmute yourself?
Hello, good day to you all.
Good day, sir.
My greeting goes to Mr. Adebanji. I'm also greeting Mr. Augustine. The way you be inactive now, I'm very, very happy about it, because I've been trying to get to you. Yesterday in mass adoption meeting, I comment on you. So as such things worry me, I don't know that the admin itself is aware about it, to call you so that you can coordinate all the leaders so that we can move forward. Nigeria and the TBC forward. So thank you very much. May God bless all. And everybody up here, my advice to everybody that is in this meeting, they should go back and equip themselves and forget about the old issues. And forget about the TBC TBC is a scammer. TBC doesn't do anything. Other countries do many things. Let's forget that our journey is now going smooth now. Smoothly, people will be running come back. It just has said that within short period, if we are receiving any package, either small, you will be very surprised how people will run back, come back to TBC. So I'm very grateful for this meeting, and God bless all of you. Thank you very much.
All right. God bless you, Mr. Ajayi. We appreciate your contribution. Let's go back to Madam Flora. Maybe we can hear her clear at this moment. Please, Madam, unmute yourself. Madam Flora, please unmute yourself, then I ask your question. We are running out of time. Go ahead, please.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. Hello.
Yeah, hello? We can hear you clear. Can you
hear me?
A little bit. Go ahead.
Okay.
Maybe you can change your location. Your network is bad.
Good evening, everyone.
It's cracking.
Good evening, everyone.
Your network is cracking. It's cracking. Maybe you can change your position. All right. I think we are getting to the end of today's meeting, and I appreciate our great leader, the African the African Lifeforce coordinator, Mr. Adebanji, and also my great leader. He's my great leader because I follow him both in YouTube. In fact, I just want to be like him, Mr. Augustine. So I think, please, sir, if you have one more thing to say, please, I would like to hear anything from you again.
All right. I will say something very briefly before I would permit my architect to round off. Now, first of all, there is something about life, and that is you become who you look up to. When you look at it from the scriptural point of view, you would find out that Elijah was not perfect. He was human. But Elisha loved and followed after him. And he was so passionate about him. If you read the point where this the chariot of fire picked off Elijah, and then you see the distances they walked, you will find out that it's so far that if you were asked to walk that way, you say no. Oga, they go your place, I tire. But he was diligent. He continued going despite the difficult times. He continued pushing. And then somehow, when he pushed to the point where, man, he had determined to succeed at all costs, that was when Elijah had to ask of him, what do you want me to do? And he spoke, and his requests were granted. It is the same thing that has happened in this Krengo private society. You see, it's called a sifting process. The system understood that human beings has different mindsets. And the only way to know the real mindset of a person is when you subject it to time. TBC has stayed over 5 years. When I started with TBC, it was imprinted in my spirit that this is your destiny. If you miss this thing, you've missed your destiny. It was clear. You know, God speaks to people in different ways. I heard it clearly. I was in a position of buying 2 Bitcoin. When I came into, that was 2016. I had enough money to buy 2 Bitcoin. Then Bitcoin was about $630 for 1 Bitcoin. I was able to buy 2 Bitcoin and still be comfortable. But I decided to go in for TBC. And my spirit told me that you will pay the price to hold on to this. And I said, I will pay the price because I'm up to the task. And leaders came and fell off. They came and fell off. Why? Because the template of TBC was different from their own templates. And when they saw that it wasn't working as they expected, they termed it a scam and they went away. Those who persevered from that time till now are about to enter into their world of abundance. And I can tell you the truth, they are not up to 10%. The people who started this system, when you bring them and then compare it to now, over 90 has fallen off. But I can tell you, I listened to my spirit. I didn't look when people were falling off because there were some very strong men who fell off that would shake my foundation, but I listened to my spirit. My spirit said, follow the course. You are charting out a good course. And I continued following. And I can tell you that in the next 1 year, the level of influence I will have will be so much that you wouldn't be able to comprehend it. That was because I listened to my inner self, and my inner self led me. I didn't allow someone else to influence me otherwise. All the people that started with me, I can tell you the truth. My architect was one of my founding men. We worked together. And as at that time, my architect always looked up to me concerning TBC, and he admired the way I went about it. You know, but somewhere along the line, he moved forward into Lifeforce. He called me to join him, but I said no. And he knew very well, not once, not twice. But somehow along the line, in God's own wisdom, he has realigned us together. The rest has gone off. Now, why did I have to go through all this story? It's because when you look up to someone and you want to be like the person, you may not just be like the person, you may be 10 times better than the person. Because the request of Elisha was double. And even when he was dead, he could still raise a dead man. That's the power that Elisha had. So to you and to every other person, because I know that I have so many secret admirers, and it's by the grace of God I have this natural gift. I know that God helps me. I speak well. I'm a good orator. It's the grace of God. I make no boast in it because there is nothing I have that was not given to me by God. So if you continue to look up to me and emulate me, at some point, you may become much more than I am, or both of us will work at the same level. That's the power of looking up to someone, believing someone, and then at some point, you guys will be much more together and make things to happen. So thank you very much for the way you followed me diligently, because every time I see your comments on my videos and I see all those things, when I saw you, you know, I was like, who is this young man? You know, but I kept seeing you and I kept seeing you and we kept moving until somehow I had to take the bull by the horn and stood up because I knew that there were so many cabals in Nigeria that wanted Nigerian TBC to scatter. I had to take responsibility, and God favored me. And today I am moving on, even to the point where the people who are looking up to me for my downfall are going to come up to me. And if they don't come up to me, well, they may need to choose whether they will remain in positions of leadership or they will fall out. Because at this point, as a state coordinator, you must coordinate your team of 30. If you don't do that, you have to be replaced. So it's now at the point where they will have to drop their pride and walk up to me, to work with me, or they fall out. And when they fall out, they're out and out forever. So be very sure that your intents are pure. Because if your intents are not pure, at some point, it will somersault. But if your intents are pure, according to the point of the scriptures, said the righteous are bold as lion. You have to be confident. You can't be confident if your intents are not pure. So make sure that your intents are pure. Now, there was also a place that said that love casteth away all fears. So if anything you are doing is not from the point of love, it's actually from the point of you are feeling fear, then that means it gives a sign that something is wrong somewhere. So I'm saying these things because all of us are building into leadership. This was the time, some time ago, during the time of Obasanjo, Yaradua, when they were youths. It was about this stage, and somehow they maintained that position through craftiness up till now. But ours is not craftiness. Ours is out of a sincere heart, out of a heart to love, to serve with integrity. That's how we are going to hold on to this position. And people will come against you. But fear not, because God will fight your battles and you hold your peace. If you are holding on to the truth, then the truth will definitely prevail. So I want to stop at this point and then allow my architect to make one or two closing remarks. And then after that will be all. Thank you for your time, everyone. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, over to you, my architect.
Okay, all right. Yes, I hope you are hearing me clearly because it has started raining here.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
so
I'm hearing you
there
clearly.
will be some background noise. Now, I want to build on what Engineer Augustine said, because what he said is exactly what happened to me. It is important that we all listen to our spirits. When I came across Kim in 2018, I knew instantly that this is the person that I have to follow. I knew instantly when I listened to her story that I just have to leave everything and follow this woman. And that's what I did. It was a very, very difficult decision because I joined TBC in 2018, August. And I was working to build TBC. And I was already making money in TBC because my goal was to bring in introduce TBC to about 10,000 people. And by that time, I got to know Kim had already sponsored over 100 people into TBC. And I was already making money, exchanging $100 for Pringles at that time. The weight was, and I was making a lot of money. And in 1 year, I'd already made maybe about 2 million naira from TBC. So when I came across Kim, I just followed her. And then there were many challenges because many people did not believe me because they thought that that kind of thing cannot happen. And Engineer Augustine said I showed it to him. I did not only show it to him, I showed it to many people, many TBC groups that I belong. Many of them called me scam. In fact, there was 2 groups that I remember very well that they called me a scammer and I was removed because I shared this story with them. And I was sharing it out of excitement that this kind of thing is happening in the world. Because 10 years prior, I'd already received a prophecy that a leader will come in the future who will raise humanity again. So when I came across Kim, something just told me that she is the one. So out of excitement, I was sharing with people, but many people did not listen. So I had to continue alone. And many people, even at that time, thought I was crazy that you are the only one who can see all these people. Now, why is everybody other person not seeing? Why is it only you? And I thought I was crazy. So And because of that inner conviction, I was able to continue and continue until now. So please, everybody, please listen to your spirit. And I'm sure many of you also know that you have persevered over the years because you have a sensing that TBC can solve this problem for the future. And here we are today. It is time for you to reap the harvest of your perseverance over the years. Just as you said, many people are falling off. And out of love, we have a responsibility to help them up again. If they don't want to come back to TBC, it doesn't matter. They can still join Lifeforce, but they may not be in the position that you are, but they can also submit projects and get funded. So it is our responsibility to be open-armed and open our arms to everybody and accept everybody. We are all strong, we are all weak, we are all a mix of the two, you know, so we just have to persevere and tolerate each other and help each other to grow. So let me say congratulations to Nasarawa State for being the very state to really impress me.
Thank you, sir.
You guys have shown the courage.
Thank you so much, sir.
And I am not surprised because you are showing the trait that you got from Engineer Augustine. He's also a problem solver.
Yes, sir.
He's a very diligent worker and a strategic thinker. So I am happy that you guys are really showing it. So thank you very much for having me. We'll keep in touch.
Thank you, sir. God bless you, sir. So as we are ending the meeting today, and I have nothing to say again because my leaders have said it all. So I think this will be the end of this meeting today. And I want to, okay, no, it's not that there's no time for question. So I think this will be the end of this meeting today. And
hello, hold on, Paulinus, please. You see, you should give everyone an opportunity now. I know why I'm saying this. Right. Because the next time you want to have access to my architect, I mean what I'm saying. In another 1 month from now, it may not be like this. So let this person express his or her mind. If there is anybody raising up his hand or wants to say something, please allow the person speak, please. Thank you.
All right, please unmute yourself.
Hello.
Go ahead.
My question is concerning the education development. We know that in the state Minister of Education is the one that's taking the care of education system. Now, in this program, the Lifeforce, as a member of Assembly in Nasarawa State, if education, how can this education be developed through this Lifeforce in education in Nasarawa State? So far, already they have the body of Minister of Education. Hello, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, let me answer your question. It's very simple. The mandate of our council is to develop communities. And communities have some autonomy over primary schools and particularly private schools. We are not going to reach out to government schools. Our focus will be private schools. We are also developing our policies. We want many things to change. For example, we don't want children to be going to school at 8 a.m. It's too early. Children should sleep very well, wake up at about between 6 and 7, prepare for school and go to school maybe by 9 and finish by 1. We don't want them to be in the sun. So we'll talk with private institutions, private schools, so that they can adopt some of our policies. And we are going to start by, first of all, helping them to solve their problems. They need funds to pay salaries, we help them, we intervene. because we are going to have intervention programs in all sectors. They need funds for this. They want to build infrastructures. They need buses, school buses to carry children. We provide it. They need good roads to their school. We will help them. So we will help them in such way so that we can gain their trust and confidence. And then they can gradually begin to implement our policies. Our policy is also, part of our policy is that people should be using indigenous language to learn. People learn better with their language. So these are policies we are going to be introducing gradually into the system. And we can only start with the private schools. And once the private schools begin to do all these things well, once private schools begin to do these things very well, then gradually the others will also catch up. The government will also catch up. So that's how we are going to start working. We are not going to go into government schools. No. Ours is communities and private schools. And that's how we are going to work it. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Lawrence, can you unmute yourself? Hello. All right, and let me go straight to another person. We have Onduse Action. Please unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, please. Go ahead. Go ahead. Ask your question, please. I think your network is bad. Unmute yourself.
You should turn off the video.
Okay, turn off your video. Then
okay. My question is in respect of the security situation in Nigeria here. Now that we want to bring a private security, how would the government not target as one of the bandits and they are killing people aside? Do you understand my question?
Yes, I do.
Hello?
Yes,
okay,
yes,
sir.
I'm hearing you. Yes. You have to know, number one, that in the Constitution of Nigeria, there is room for private security organizations to operate. And they do collect licenses from the government.
Yes.
So there's nothing unconstitutional or illegal about that. That's number one. Then number two, in what we are doing, we are also going to involve the law enforcement agencies and also the military, because they also need improvement in their life. So we are still going to use them to some extent in what we are doing across the country, so that also provide some external support, so that the private organizations that we have trust in will be the one really in the inner caucus. So that's how we are going to arrange it. We will definitely use them, because they also need to have a feel of what we have, so that gradually with time we can begin to build trust, and then as things progress, then things will begin to move in another direction. So there's no problem using private organization for security in the in our organization. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right. Okay, let's go straight to Mrs. Adeshina Atinuke. Please, can you unmute yourself? Unmute yourself. Can you unmute yourself? Mrs. Adeshina, can you unmute yourself? I think maybe she's not close. So Mr. Augustine, I think there's nothing else again. I thank everyone here, and then by the grace of God, we are going to achieve our mission, the mission of TBC, the mission of the of Lifeforce, and I pray that God will continue to empower us in Jesus' name.
Amen. All right, so thank you very much. I think this will be all for now. I want to say a big thank you for the time well spent. My architect took time to explain all that needs to be explained. And I thank God because this is recorded. Please be professional, okay? Whoever would need this, provide it for them.
Right, sir.
As many that would need it, make sure that it is not to the outside. Make sure it's in your clique. Do not give out these informations are classified. Do not share it with people out there. Make sure it's your clique.
Right,
and
sir.
I know that you guys would also come around again as things get more heated. You see, I don't consider some money, some reasonable amount of money, if what I have to gain is worth it. I do not consider it. If it's
Right,
worth
sir.
200,000 and I know that what I'm going to gain is worth more than that, I think I'll pay the price. That's my thinking. And I think it's the abundant thinking point of view from the abundant thought pattern. But the scarcity point of view will consider this and that and those limitations. So what I'm actually driving at is whenever you guys want to reach out to us, feel free to do so, but make sure you are earning Bitcoin bounty, because it's from that Bitcoin bounty you can be able to afford to take care of this. If you're not earning Bitcoin bounty, I don't know how you're going to do it, except maybe you may have some other business you're doing. But build TBC, and as you build TBC, you build Lifeforce, at least to a point. Once fundings begin, well, we'll all be in a different pedestal.
All right,
so
sir.
let me leave it at this point. Thank you very much, and
okay.
God bless
you. Okay, sir. Please, before we end it up, let me call my secretary, Mr. Apostle, so that maybe he has something to say. I think, Mr. Apostle, can you say something?
Okay, no, I don't have anything to say much than a big thank you for the time well spent. Mr. Adebanji has done justice to everything that has to be clarified as far as Lifeforce is concerned. And then our great leader, Mr. Augustine Chukwegu, has also done justice to so many things. We appreciate your time and efforts, just seeing that our assembly as Nasarawa State received all the necessary information and the necessary tools we need to move the assembly further. We are much grateful. And to all those, our team members that took their time to be at the meeting from the beginning to this point, we want to appreciate everyone for his or her commitment, and we pray that God will always see us through. Adams Peter means my name. I appreciate.
All right. I will not also fail to appreciate you guys, because you guys has done what you are supposed to do. Thank you for that offer you've given to my architect, and you handed it over to me, and I just want it to be for the record. And immediately after this meeting, I'm sending over the money. You guys made me proud. And of course, he couldn't have spent this time without that. He actually had mercy on us, because this guy attends, in fact, let me not go into details, but he actually pardoned us. His official rate is $100 for about 30 minutes, but now he has given us over 2 hours. Yes. I think it's a good one, but it's not going to always be like that. That's one thing you should bear in mind.
Yes, sir.
So as soon as the meeting is over, I'll send the whole money to him, and everybody goes home smiling. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
I should be on my way.
Yes, sir. God bless you, sir.
All right. Bless you too.